Now, regular viewers may remember when we reviewed the Z-Press, which is a press fit plumbing tool. Absolutely fantastic. We got good response there. And you may also remember that I said that they were working on a jaw that would get you into tighter spaces. We take out the ordinary jaw, that's the 22mm jaw, and we put in the adapter jaw, which looks very similar, but as you can see, spot the difference. What we now have is a pair of jaws there into which we fit the corresponding right angle adapter. Now, we've got these in 15, we've got them in 22, we're going all the way up through 28 and even 35. We'd have to put the jaws around whatever the fitting is. It's still not clip distance from the wall, but it's a lot closer just by putting a spacer clip on the back. Will allow you to get there. If you envisage a situation like this where you wouldn't be able to get the machine in because of some obstruction, it could be the edge of a boiler casing. What you would do in that situation is simply get the adapter, pop it around your pipe fitting, and then once you've done that, you can swivel it round to wherever you can get access. Now, in this case, I said you couldn't get the tool in that way, but you can get it parallel to the pipe. Simply put that onto there, that locks into place, press the button. And you can see that we've got a perfect crimp. It's not going to get you into every single situation. That's why the blow lamp for me is still something I need. There are situations where you're not going to get a crimp in anyway, but if you think about what you're doing, you can prefabricate an awful lot of it, and if it's that last crimp, put your little adapter on, and all we do is vary the jaw size on the adapters according to the pipe size. So you can see they all still fit into that adapter there. So that's the Z-Press from Zupper. If you want to see the whole review on this tool, we did that earlier. We'll put a link to that review. But if you've just been waiting for this adapter to come out, you don't have to buy the whole set. You can buy them one by one as you need them. I just want to show you the larger model. Now, this will take you right up to 54mm. When you compare the size of a machine, it's not that much bigger. It's a lot more powerful. So it will allow you to put all these jaws in. We can go from 15mm there, a tiny jaw really for a big machine. So we can go right up to the 35 using the same idea. But if we then want to go up to say the 54, what we have to do is put these jaws in. And if you look, this is kind of like that adapter. And then you put that round your fitting and you simply lock them on and away you go. So this is a huge machine, and if you look at the cost of these machines, this one is actually very, very competitive. If you're doing commercial work, this could be a real asset to your business. So the good news is that the machines, the Z-Press machines that we've had on trial and we reviewed, are now going to be given away. So if you want to enter and get a chance to win one of those machines, all you've got to do is sign up to our newsletter. Details on the screen now. We're doing a regular newsletter which will give you information about upcoming videos and all kinds of promotions and just general chit chat about the industry. So that's the Z-Press from Zupper, and it's now available with angled jaws, which means that you can reach the parts that other press fit machines can't reach. As usual, follow the links on the screen. Okay, the next item I want to show you is from Quickwire, who unsurprisingly have a range of products designed to make wiring quicker. I think the clue's in the name. Their switch and load junction box takes the effort out of 3-plate wiring, because instead of having to mess around with sealing roses and screwdrivers and put all those terminals in, this thing is straightforward push fit connectors, and it really speeds up the installation. The switch and load junction box is pre-wired, so you've got cable inlets. You're basically going to put your supply into one, you're going to put your load into the other, and your switch into the third one. So all the wiring is done inside the box. It's configured and it's ready to just connect up to the downlighters. Now we're going to be using this system in an upcoming video on Skill Builder along with their downlighters, because Quickwire have teamed up with Recommend to provide a fire rated downlighter which is suitable, is rated for eye joists and for solid joists, and it's colour switchable, so you just take the bezel off and flick the switch. And it comes with a built-in Quickwire plug and socket, so it couldn't be easier to wire up. I think this sort of thing really, for me, just takes all the strain out of it, because quite honestly, looking up into that hole, trying to thread things through and use a screwdriver just makes my neck ache, and this is going to do the job so much faster and reliably. You can't really get it wrong so long as you can read the labels. So the next product that we want to show you, actually it's not really a product, it's a service, but it's something that I came across some time ago when I was building a small extension, and I've been meaning to mention it for a while. So it's called Build for Less, and I was looking for some bricks and I started hunting around and I came across this website, and they had the best price for the bricks. They had the ones I wanted. I ordered a few pallets of them, and happily they arrived pretty quickly, and they weren't all smashed to bits, which is wonderful, isn't it? So not only do they do bricks, they do cladding in all kinds of different patterns and types, and also they do clear amber roof sheeting, and also composite decking in a wide variety of different types, shades and makes, and all the handrails and trimmings that you need to go with that. So it's called Build for Less, so have a look at their website, and I'm sure you'll find things there to interest you, including tools, workwear and all manner of other things. And more importantly, let us know what you think. As always, we'd be interested to know, do you think it's a good service? Do you think the prices are good? And is it something that you will be using in the future? Now, we love bringing you updates, and when I reviewed the Topdon, the original one, which was only working on an Android phone, I did say that they were going to bring out one for the iOS, for the Apple phone, and this is now available to use on your iPhone or even on your iPad. And there's a new app for it which is called TopInfrared. So other than that, it's the same thermal imaging camera that we reviewed. Very easy to use and great at finding any gaps in insulation, any cold bridging in a building, and it does it, I think, at a pretty reasonable price. So here we've got the camera itself, which plugs into the bottom of your phone or your iPad, but actually it's also got an extension cable, which means that if you plug the cable into the bottom of your phone, then you can use it more remotely, so you can get it into those tight spaces and move it around. So on the Topdon thermal imaging camera that I tested on my Android phone, I plugged it in the bottom, and I didn't realise it may be a refinement that they've made where you can actually turn the phone upside down, and the phone recognises that you've turned it upside down and will put the image the right way. And that's kind of useful in certain situations where you want to poke the imaging camera inside something and you still want to look at the screen. So that is the Topdon thermal imaging camera for iOS devices, and it really is quite intuitive. I've used a lot of thermal imaging cameras where you have to read a whole great menu, instruction manual and so on. You plug this in and you can kind of see what it does straight away. Now, this is the XtraHand, and it's an intriguing little device. Dan Cox actually put me onto it. I think he knows the person that invented it, and all it is basically a way of catching the dust when you're drilling on a wall. Now, there are lots of different variations on this theme around. A lot of them you have to put the drill through a hole, and then that catches the dust all around it. So intriguingly, with this one, you just put the drill on the top and the dust catches in the bottom there and is sucked in. But what it also does is the suction holds it to the wall so that you don't have to hold it with one hand and drill with the other. So once it's on the wall, provided the wall is reasonably smooth, not something like a wood chip paper, then it will stick on the wall. I've tested it, it sticks on the wall perfectly well, and then you can just carry on. The way it does it, inside you can see there are two channels. One of them is taking the dust and the other one is holding it to the wall. We've tested it with a Henry, so you don't need an industrial vacuum cleaner to make it work, but if you're a tradesman and you're working in other people's houses, it's quite a nice thing to have. So that's the XtraHand from Häfele. If you know Häfele, they make all the hinges and the jigs for kitchen cabinets, that kind of thing, and the links are in the description below.